ends up in Antarctica. Cobblepot's camp. Bruce and his friends had found a couple of dead people. After they checked the ship's manifest, they get to find out that two people named Cobblepot and Brendan were missing. Bruce encourages them to keep searching until they find something. Bruce finds Cobblepot journal where he wrote an account of the happenings that led to their demise. He gets to see a mutated Cobblepot and then goes after him, but he ends up in a cave. He sees Brendan also mutated and possessed by a spirit. Brendan seems to be cracking a wall to free a demon. Just as Bruce decides to take him back home, some evil creatures attack him. Bruce defeats the creatures and then quickly captures Brendan before they depart, while Brendan summons the demonic creature as he appears to be eating a portion of it. As Bruce and Alfred were discussing their plan to return to Gotham to save the city from the approaching doom, Brendan alerts Bruce to the impending doom. Bruce then commands Kylie to use explosives and then close off the cave. Bruce recalls the horrifying night when his parents were murdered by a psychopath and how he had to flee the scene before returning to the present to keep Brendan away from Gotham's police. Picking straws, Lee, Dick, and Sanjay are told by Bruce to remain with Brendan on the ship. When Sanjay fails, Brendan asks him to remain with him until they reach Gotham. Alfred notifies Bruce of an invitation to dinner from Oliver Queen. Bruce notices that something wasn't right with the house, and then they get to find out a dead body tied to a chair. While trying to discover whose body it is, Bruce sees a revelation and hears the name Langstrom. Later on, while Bruce was preparing for dinner, he meets up with a strange man who identifies himself as Mr. Blood. He tells Bruce that for him to win this battle, he must follow 3 rules. The first one is to seek 2 spirits, one wrapped in bat and the other in flame. He goes on by saying to prevail in this, Bruce Wayne must die and through death become himself. Lastly, he concludes by saying before the city can be saved, Gotham must burn to the ground. Bruce doesn't believe in his conspiracy theories, which made the strange man angry. Because of his dubiety, he transforms into a burning flame and then leaves, saying Bruce will still need him in the next scene. Bruce and his friends get to have an awkward dinner with Oliver Queen. He becomes drunk as he talks a lot. Just then, he introduces the group to the incoming mayor, Harvey Dent. Meanwhile, Alfred receives a phone call from an unknown person, but when he wants to go through the call, the line disconnects. Bruce asks Harvey if he knew anything about Langstrom. As a result, his obsession with bats. Langstrom is regarded as the Batman of Alley Street and an academic biologist. As Harvey departs, Bruce takes Langstrom's address and instructs Kylie and Dick to remain with Oliver and keep an eye on him. In the meantime, Brendan has become increasingly cold, causing a freezing temperature. Bruce goes over to Langstrom's residence to investigate him. He finds 3 policemen there who tried to stop it, but he defeats them. He finds Langstrom's journal, which talks about the Great Room in the cult of Ghoul. In his statement, he writes that the Testament of Ghoul is the only way to revive the cult and it should be kept away from them at all costs. Bruce makes a phone call to the university repository, another to retrieve the testimony of Ghoul from a professor. But the professor denies knowing anything about it. Just as the line disconnects, he goes over to retrieve the book from the safe. Just then he is attacked by a woman named Talia. She summons a creature, Dacia, that took possession of the professor. Bruce intervenes as he tries to stop Talia from taking the book. He engages in an intense battle with the creature. Just then Trigon, the flaming creature that had come to meet him previously, came to his rescue. He tells Bruce that he doesn't know what he's doing, but they need him alive to win the battle, so he should run away. Bruce pursues Talia and asks for the book, claiming that the story is over. But Talia threatens him with her demon friend and admits that she is to blame for Langstrom's murder. Knowing that this creature is too powerful and vicious for Bruce, she summons another one that attacked him. In the meantime, a drunken Talia orders the monster to go get the key from the harbor after Bruce flees using a passing train. While being put to sleep, Oliver Queen informs Dick and Kylie that he owes Bruce a great deal of money, and that his father's sins are being heaped upon him. Alfred sees that Bruce has sulfur on his wound after he returns home hurt, but Bruce is determined to analyze the substance first before cleaning the wound. Meanwhile, just as the police notice the ship, Oliver Queen and Dick divert their attention away from it. Jimmy, Gordon, and Oliver dispute, which allows Dick to escape quickly on a boat and enter the cave where Durden was kept, whereupon he discovers Sanjay dead. While being held back, Kylie makes her way to the cave and mourns the loss of Sanjay and Dick as Oliver consults her, vowing to make them pay for their sins. Jimmy and Kylie head for the ship after hearing gunshots and discover Dick dead. having been killed by the monster Talia had set. The scene switches to Talia as she proceeds to resurrect Iog's suffer with the book. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Dacia had won a dragon in the battle, and he returns with a bottle where he had contained a dragon. She then tells him to fulfill his part of the bargain and scorch the ground with fire. She continues with her incantations as she awakens the ghost Ra's. Bruce, on the other hand, makes an effort to identify Talia, and while researching, he comes across a mausoleum that is hidden beneath Gotham. Ra's al Ghul and Talia begin their plan to invoke the ceremony that will show them the door to unlock the doom awaiting Gotham. Brendan goes over to meet them. He tells them that a key is needed to open the door. Meanwhile, Alfred receives another call. This time it is from Gordon. After their discussion on the phone, he is instructed by Alfred to urge Oliver to take care of a bereaved Kylie. Bruce visits the cemetery and discovers Talia and Ra's al Ghul performing their incantations there.
While she and the monster tend to a recalcitrant Bruce, Talia encourages her father to continue the incantation.
When Ra's al Ghul appears, Bruce hurries to confront him, but the ritual ceremony has already been completed. As a result, reptiles start to emerge from every crevice and into the streets of Gotham, which is now in ruins. Bruce recalls the menacing voice that spoke to him after his parents were killed as he continues to stare at the wall clock. Harvey Dent had become Gotham's new mayor. He promises to rescue Gotham from their curse and make it a thriving city once more. Back at the underground, Brendan is killed by Talia, who uses his body as a new vessel in their bid to resurrect Logsat. After some incantations, a woman awakens the new vessel, goes over to meet the mayor Harvey. She congratulates him on his victory and then leaves a mark on his hands. Kylie manages to open the door. After she was locked out, she sees Oliver wearing a knight's costume. He tells Kai that this is his fight and the sins of his father had come to haunt him. Just then Oliver tells her the story of how his father Henry Queen murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne. He has retrieved some holy weapons from different battles. He intends to use them on the monster that is to come. He advises Kai to run away. Kai approaches Bruce to tell him of Oliver's predicament. Meanwhile, Mayor Harvey is being diagnosed with poison ivy. Just then Oliver is attacked by the new vessel. In a historic fight, he sacrifices himself by blowing up the building and killing both the monsters. In his final moments, he tells Bruce about the sins of his father and then dies. Harvey had become paralyzed due to the poison. He wishes for death, but Talia still needs him to do more evil deeds for her. Meanwhile, Kylie and Bruce visit the graves of Sanjay and Dick. Kylie is scared and then begs Bruce to run away from Gotham. But Bruce tells her that he is one of the few people that are willing to go through fire because of the city. Just then Jimmy Gordon arrives with a message. He tells Bruce of Barbara, and as she had been longing to speak to Bruce, he sets up a meeting with her later that night. Bruce bids the group goodbye as he sets to go save Gotham from their curse. He goes over to see Barbara at Arkham Asylum. He requests to see the spirit wrapped in flames. Babe converses with Bruce as he enters a trance, and his father recounts him the tale of how he and Bartley Langston found a book. Oswald Cobblepot and Henry Queen, they all performed vile ceremonies to save Gotham, and then became immortal afterward until Iog's suffer struck them. His father tells him to find the door before it fully opens and then seeks communion with the bats. He proceeds to do what his father had instructed and then seeks communion with the bats. He goes over to the door where he meets with Harvey, whose disease had become worse. Sanjay and Dick are among the monsters that Bruce battles after entering the portal and trying to destroy them. Talia, on seeing Bruce interrupt the final ceremony, attacks him, but he manages to eliminate her. Bruce interrupts Ra's al Ghul from finishing the ceremony and then cuts off his arm, but it is already late as Ra's al Ghul had transformed into a gigantic monster. He tries to kill Bruce, but the latter transforms into a Batman after he had recalled all the 3 conditions a Trigon gave to him. He attacks Ra's Ghul and then destroys him. Meanwhile, the doom was already looming, so Bruce releases a dragon. He applauds Bruce for a job well done and then tells him to leave while he does his damage. Just then fire engulfs the whole place, destroying both Bruce and Harvey. The city of Gotham, several months after it burns down, Gotham residents assemble for the dedication of the Bruce Wayne Memorial Foundation, where a statue is being built to honor Oliver and Harvey's good deeds. Kylie takes over as the interim head of the foundation, assuring the people of Gotham that Bruce still looks out for them and that, yes, the Batman is watching you. If you appreciate this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this.